I'm probably an introvert. I think people would be very surprised to know that, because I think people think I'm just, an extrovert, and I do love people and I love being around them, but I am very comfortable being alone and being in the quietness of my own home.
Probably that I plan to be a weather girl, and that I was headed down that path at graduation from Syracuse University, and at the last minute they picked another girl, and so I had to regroup and figure out what was next, and of course it led me on the path that led me to where I am today. So I'm a big fan of the Garth Brooks song, Thank God for Unanswered Prayers.
I grew up in a small town in New Hampshire. My dad was a farmer. He had 20,000 chickens, so I grew up on a chicken farm. And I always tell people that I learned at a very young age what I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. But I was so fortunate to have that opportunity to be brought up on a farm, because I learned a work ethic, I learned a sense of responsibility, and it's just a great way for a child to grow up. The other thing is I was extremely shy as a kid, and I didn't really come out of my shell, really, and become unshy until I got into the business world, and I kind of forced myself to be able to communicate better and learned how to publicly speak. So I was a real shy person.
I would go in and absolutely revitalize my neighborhood and the communities immediately around it. Just as we have the revitalization of Springfield and some other communities, I would go in and redo Durkeeville and all the communities right around there, and make that a vibrant community that it once was, where there were businesses, small businesses, and kids could walk the streets and they could play in the streets, and people could sit out on their porch and talk to each other and just socialize. I would create that environment again and make a place for people who want to age in their community without having to move somewhere else, and have decent places for them to live. Make it multi-generational, multi-purpose, arts, festivals, parks. It would be a wonderful place to live.
I live on the Trout River. I have a relationship with the river. It feeds me, it sustains me, it sustains my spirit. To be around the moving water, it's one of the most powerful, beautiful aspects of our community. And so I am as much an advocate for the rights of the river as I am for the rights of people.
I'd want to eradicate poverty, and I don't know if we're ever capable of doing that, but that's why I think we're all so passionate about education, because you've got to educate your way out of poverty through skills. And I'd like to put pieces of infrastructure in place here if I could, and obviously it takes resources, to make sure that everybody had a shot at the American dream. But I also think that we need to earn our success, and there are too many people that are not given the opportunity through either lack of education or that lack of work ethic and grit and getting up and going to do something and making something happen, that they don't move themselves into a position where they can earn their success. And I think that's really important. And I'd love to see that widespread in Jacksonville. We got to continually try to figure out how we can expose children to a better life.
Well, if I could wave the magic wand, I would assure that we have selected leadership in our city that can get beyond petty politics and get beyond personal agendas and really look at what's best for the entire community. To me, it's a no-brainer. I think to a lot of people, it's like basic. And I think we've just got to get there.
We really are in many ways still a tale of two cities. And I think if we could have everyone feeling as I do in my home, safe and secure and happy, I can walk to a restaurant or a show, the streets are tree-lined and clean. If everybody had that chance, I think we'd make real headway into become a community that values equality and inclusiveness, and where everybody feels like they have a chance.